Hello, I'm Evangelist Sharon Liner out of Houston, Texas, bringing you home daily Bible readings, reading the Bible every day to lead you up to that Sunday morning Sunday school Christian education. So, our lesson comes from Genesis 41, 41 through 49. This is Friday, September 11th, storing grain for the future. We have seen Joseph. This is who the story is about. We have seen Joseph in the pit because his brothers were going to kill him, but they put him in a pit to figure out what they were going to do. He got sold into Egypt. In Egypt, he is working in Potiphar's house over everything. The wife of Potiphar decides that she wants him, but Joseph does not go after her. And so she frames him, and now Joseph is in the dungeon of prison. Once he is in prison, he and his life are so circumspect that he rises up to be under the captain of the guard to watch over the prisoners. In prison, he meets the butcher and the baker. When he meets the butcher and the baker, then when he meets the butcher and the baker, he interprets their three dreams. I'm sorry, not the butcher, the butler and the baker. He interprets their dreams, and one dies and one goes back up to Pharaoh. Joseph tells the butler, not the butcher, Joseph tells the butler to remember him when he gets into Pharaoh's presence, and the butler does not remember. 2 years later, Pharaoh has a double dream, and he dreams about fat cows and skinny cows, and the skinny cows eat the fat cows, and he has no interpretation. He dreams about ears of corn that are ripe and plump, and these skinny ears eating up the fat ears, and they are still, the skinny cow and the skinny ears are no better off. He can't get an interpretation from the people that he pay, his wise man and his soothsayers. They have no idea. Joseph comes up and he tells them the dream, and he gives the interpretation of the dream. And what he says to Pharaoh is that this dream is not of me. This comes from God. He says, it's not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And then he tells Pharaoh, and for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. So now today's lesson talks about Pharaoh putting Joseph over all of the land of Egypt. And he gives him a ring, which he was in the dungeon, in prison. He didn't have a ring. He put him on fine clothes. He didn't have fine clothes when he was in the prison. He made him to ride in the second chariot. Everybody didn't have chariots. And they said, bow the knee. He made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph says, I am Pharaoh, and without thee no man shall lift a hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. So he has given him power. He has given him authority. Pharaoh has rained it all down on this man Joseph. He also gives him a new name, Zaphnath Paneah, and he gave him a wife, okay, the daughter of the priest of On. And Joseph went out over the land. He was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh. So from a little boy going to find his brothers in the field, he goes away, and all of this time is spent in preparation, getting him ready for what God has for him. And the 7 plenteous years brought forth food in abundance. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, and the food of the field, which was round about every city, and he laid it up, and it was so much. Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until he stopped numbering, because it was too much to number. It was without numbering. And it almost sounds like the blessing of Abraham. Abraham is going to have children until it's too much to be known. They're going to be like the sands of the sea. These are going to be your children. So here we are at Genesis 41, verses 41 through 49, talking about Joseph and his rising to power. This is Home Daily Bible reading from First Lady Sharon Liner out of Houston, Texas. These readings are daily readings getting you ready for Sunday morning Sunday school. God bless.